Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. It's a nice day in Easton. I got a great show for you tonight. A couple of very awesome musicians. Drove a few hours to get here, and wait till you hear them. They're incredible. Got to read these underwriters first, though. They're incredible, too, so we'll get right through them. So, we got Auto Country, King of the Used Car in Abington. We got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Stores in Whitman, South Weymouth, Pembroke, Hanson, and Abington. The corporate offices for Whitman and Abington. There's the phone number. We got a new one for Life Nutrition in Lakeville. We got Big Lee's Automotive in Abington. We got Joe's Diner in Taunton. We got Snell Performance Auto and Truck in Bridgewater. We got Middleborough Barbering Company in Middleborough. We got Lynch's Auto, Cycle, Truck, and Towing in Brockton. One number for towing, one number for projects. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Brighton Tire Service in Brockton. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Speedy Oil Change in Abington. We got Doggy Boutique, All Breed Professional Grooming for dog and cats, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We got Easton Fitness right here in Northeastern in the Village Shops, and we got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair in Whitman, home of the fully certified used car. I want to thank you guys very much, and so on that note, now I will introduce these two awesome folks. This is Desiree Ragoza and her husband Brandon, and it was an honor to have them come all the way up here. They're originally from Connecticut, I guess. We've had some great musical guests from out of state, but all over the country too. So we'll talk to you. I had two from Maine last night. Now I have you two guys. So Desiree, let's talk to you first. I'm glad you one I arranged it with. So tell me about yourself, and thanks for coming on first of all. And
thank you for having me.
Okay. So how did you get into it? How did you get into the VSP Ultrasound Productions, and define your genre too, if you would, and then we'll go back a little further.
Well, I mean, I guess to start, I started playing guitar since I was 3.
Played what when you were 3?
I started playing guitar, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So it kind of started from there, and then since then, like I've done I started out playing like bars and clubs when I was 12. I did a couple.
Whoa! Wait a second. When you were 12, they don't even let you in the bars and clubs when you're 12. How'd you pull that off?
My dad was managing me at the time, so.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a whole Leanne Rimes story going here. All right. Well,
like that.
I don't want. I mean, this is great. I'm gonna hold that thought for a minute. But Brandon, I want to talk to you too. So tell me about what's your situation? Did you start playing music as young as she did? And if not, what did you do, and how did it lead to where you're at?
I actually did play guitar for a little bit when I was younger, but around the age 13 is when I got into DJing, and I just fell in love with the art form of mixing different songs together and taking songs that exist and making something new. So I've been doing this close to 20 years now.
Wow. Yeah. You don't even look that old. You don't look much past 20.
Thank you.
Okay, wow, that's incredible. So you've been like a professional DJ that travels around the area and works weddings and functions and bar mitzvahs and whatnot.
Weddings, nightclubs, casinos, all that,
Ever worked the big ones, Foxwoods, Mohegan Sun?
Yeah, before the pandemic, I had a residency at Foxwoods.
Of course, before the pandemic, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
I miss it, but hope to get back to it as soon as all this passes.
You'll get back to it. Don't worry about it. All right, Desiree. So, going back to your story, you have a father that is he still your manager?
No, I manage myself.
Okay.
So around the age 23, 24 is when I started self-management, but before that, he was managing me, and I was playing at bars, clubs, festivals, and stuff. I was also on, I sat in with guests like Marshall Tucker, Sammy Hagar, Ted Nugent, Living Color, and a bunch of other people, but that's just kind of like the short list of it.
It is.
But after that, I also got on Cirque du Soleil for a few years.
You got on what for a few years?
Cirque du Soleil.
Turkey toy? Is that what did you say? Turkey toy?
Sure. It was a Cirque du Soleil. Basically, they have actually a bunch of shows. They have a lot of resident shows in Las Vegas. It's mostly like acrobatics, dancing.
So you went all over the country and did these shows?
I was on one specific one. It was the Michael Jackson Immortal World Tour.
Okay.
And they had.
Did you actually work with him?
With his band members, and also the Michael Jackson estate was involved to help put the show together.
Wow.
So it's like 3 big companies that kind of like mashed it all into like a super tour. So.
Okay. And you went out to Vegas. So where other parts of the country have you traveled to? All over?
All over, really.
Wow.
I've been to like New Zealand, Australia, parts of Asia. I've been to Russia. I've been to Canada. I've been to Mexico. Pretty much like all around.
Well, you're multilingual too, or do you have interpreters that go with you?
I wish I was. Personally, I wish I was.
Well, boy, that's amazing. I mean, you're no flash in the pan. You're young. You look pretty. Both of you look very young, but you're obviously no spring chickens. you've been doing the gig for 20 years and you've been all over the country. Have you been all over the country too, doing what you've done?
Yeah, definitely. And what's funny is she's younger than me, but she's actually been playing guitar longer than I've been DJing, if you can believe it, because she started at 3. I've been doing this 20 years. She's been doing it, what, 25 years now?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't usually, all right.
So we're both very, very seasoned, even though we're younger.
I don't usually ask my guests their ages, but you're fascinating me. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine, but I'm curious.
Oh, we're good with it.
Yeah.
I'm 28.
I'm 33.
So are you real? You're 28 and you're 33?
Yes.
For real?
Yes.
Well, so you've been doing this since you were 13? And you've been, okay. Whew. And on your 28, you've already been all over the country and the world doing your shows. Oh my goodness. Well, in terms of like media coverage, have you gotten any aside from, this couldn't be your first TV show then, right? Or is it?
No, I've done a handful of them. I've done like the local TV stations, and while I was on Cirque, I had a lot of press as well in the newspapers and news stations and stuff.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I figured you probably would. I mean, ordinarily, you usually hear of kids, they get discovered, they go on a talent show like the one that Ed McMahon was on. Star of the Day or whatever, and they become. Even when they lose, they somehow manage to get a record contract.
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, you just worked your way out from a cocoon and spawned yourself everywhere. Wow, that's incredible.
Just doing what I love and
Now,
sticking
do you two
to
have
it.
children?
No children.
Okay, that's
no
great.
plans
That keeps.
to.
I don't see how you'd have time for them.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Music's full time for us.
Yeah.
I guess they are. Okay. I mean, obviously with the pandemic, you had to have been slowed down. I get that. But before the pandemic, I mean, were you both traveling together all over the country, doing tours and?
Well, we actually met at the beginning of the year, 2020.
Okay, where? And what was the circumstances? And I always say everything happens for a reason. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, we basically had a blind date at a Asian restaurant that we met at, and it was amazing. Like we sat down and we just instantly, for lack of a better term, love at first sight. That's what it was. And
Beautiful.
yeah, and we just really clicked so well, and we're both very passionate about what we do.
Yep.
And we're both very excited to take our two passions and bring them together. And to still do our solo stuff as well, but also do our Team Ragoza concept together. And it's a lot of fun because even though we both do like different things, we both put the same type of creativity and passion into it.
Right.
So unfortunately, we didn't really get to travel together before the pandemic, but we've been
Right, because
laying
you
low,
started-
practicing, working on
Pandemic happened
content.
right at the beginning. Right, I get it. Wow.
So when this is over, we're ready to go. We have some great people in our corner too, of
I've
course.
still been playing out too a little bit here and there, but because I'm in I'm in 3 bands actually.
Wow.
So technically I do my solo stuff. We have our project Team Ragoza. I play as a bassist in a metal band called In the Red, and I'm also a bassist / guitar player in another band called Crash the Party.
Wow, that's awesome. Would you consider this like, I don't know about acid rock? That was a term from the 70s. But what about punk rock? Would you consider what you do that? Because it sounded a little like it when we were rehearsing. But like I asked you before, what do you consider your genres for your music?
It's really hard to say.
Honestly.
In the DJ world, what I do, they refer to it as open format because it means that, we do a lot of different genres, everything from EDM to rock to hip hop,
Yep.
pop, just
genres.
pretty much all over the map. So when we perform together, we consider it to be open format. That's what we call it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you met on a blind date in early 2020. You got married. You must have got married before.
Right away, within a month of knowing each
Within
other.
a month. Wow.
A month.
Yep.
That's
We
great.
actually just celebrated our first date anniversary 1 whole year on January 14th.
Congratulations. That was just last week.
Yep.
That was last Thursday.
And we got married in February. So,
Wow, that's right. And the pandemic hit in March, pretty much. It started in February, but it hit us around here in March. Right? Okay. All right. Well, guess what? We're 10 minutes into the show, and you've been talking, and your rehearsing was amazing. So now I heard you rehearse. Now what I want you to do is to get up and play something for the watching audience of Topic Time, and we'll discuss it afterwards and rock the house down like you did before.
awesome.
Sounds
Let's do
good.
it.
Okay, folks, here they are. Desiree and Brandon, Ragoza.
Thank you.
Wow, is that one of your originals?
Yes.
Originals. That one was called
Team Ragoza original. What is it?
Probable Cause.
Okay. There's no probable. It was obvious cause. Great stuff. Okay. Okay. Well, you guys can sit back down for a little while, and then in another short segment, you can go back up and play again. And all right. Now, when you compose your music, I want you to explain to me how you do that. If it's not too much trouble, because that's your kind of music is rather unique.
Yes.
And obviously nobody can be you, but like the three tenors, we want to find out how they do what they do. But nobody, because they know they can't be copied. So go ahead, explain how you compose this stuff.
Well, it really, just like with anything creative, there's
Yeah.
always different processes depending on the project itself. But like for that one, for example,
Yeah.
that's actually an original that she had been working on for a little while.
Okay.
And we actually just decided to take it and include it in our live set and add some different elements to it. So it's an idea. How long have you had that idea for?
At least a couple of years at
Wow.
most, but it's been kind of like a work in progress. But for something like what we're working on, it kind of worked out perfectly in my favor, because initially, like with my previous two albums, it's more of like kind of like the, I guess you would say, commercial or radio friendly music.
It is.
And like kind of hard rock, modern rock. But now I'm trying to tier with everything I learned throughout the years, just between Cirque and sitting in with famous artists and stuff. I want to kind of go more on the modern route, but be able to do like my own twist between guitar and having like EDM style turntable, maybe some hip hop like down the line, but all
Cool.
sorts of different stuff, even like heavy metal. So
Well, I'll tell you what, that song could do anything from aerobicize a room of women trying to stay in shape to inspire a college party.
Yeah.
And for people who need to learn to behave themselves, but probably don't.
it happens
Well, that's pretty good, though.
sometimes.
Okay, speaking of that, I'm just curious about your educations. If you have musical backgrounds in schooling or anything like that you want to discuss, I'm always up to hearing that, because that's kind of important. People have backgrounds in their education, so enlighten me, please, if you would.
I mostly started out like with, so it was mostly my dad that inspired me. He
Okay.
played more for a hobby, but over the years, like I've had lessons here and there. I've had college level lessons and private lessons and stuff.
Did you go to college? Did either of you go to college somewhere?
I applied to Berkeley and stuff, but it was interesting
They
because
said she was too good.
Really?
I don't know if you want to phrase it like that, but
Pretty
basically
much.
what happened was I applied, I got
Overqualified.
accepted, but yeah, essentially, like they
Wow.
saw like I already had the resume with who I sat in with, and they told me to continue and pursue with it. So
Well, you could be teaching
here I
them.
am
You could
today.
be teaching them a few things. Well, you know what? It's funny you should say Berkeley, because I actually did a show many years ago in 2012. I did a fusion jazz show down there on a Thursday night, and boy, they were loud. But you were too. But you sounded good.
Thank you.
You sounded better than they did. I'm not. And sorry, Fused, if you're watching.
I would love to do a clinic there one day, though, just to play with the other students and like interact and like jam out with them, you know.
Okay. Now, what about you, Brandon? Did you go to college?
No, I never went to college. I was never really into school. School was not.
Really?
I was
School
always
and
into
you
music.
didn't mix, I get it.
So like I literally dedicated my whole life to doing this. Thank God it worked out. But like. I feel like when it comes to music, there's nothing wrong with getting education. It depends on the person, but I feel like the best experience comes from doing it yourself.
Yep.
And getting out there, doing a whole variety of different gigs, different venues, different crowds. And it's funny because like I never got like formal education, but I educate people now myself, and I do lessons and all that stuff.
And he's building a course right now.
Yeah, I'm actually building an online Scratch course right now. I'm going to
Okay.
help a lot of DJs learn how to do what I was just doing right there.
That's pretty
So-
awesome, because that's not easy. It looks easy, but that's because you make it look easy.
He makes it
Years
look
and
easy. I
years.
say
You
that
could
all
ask
the
her.
time.
I spend to this, even now, I spend at least 4 hours a day practicing every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's I mean, it's your passion. I totally get it.
Yep.
So in terms of your course, you've already started it online for teaching people how to scratch?
Yeah, it's something I'm still working on. I'm not done with it yet. I wanted to get
Okay.
it done by the beginning of January, but it's just the more I do it, the more I keep coming up with ways to make it even better. But I do like private lessons too, like live one-on-one and stuff like that.
Even during the pandemic, or you mean like in person?
Well,
or?
yeah, no, you could do stuff like that on Zoom.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
all right,
video
Zoom
I
or
understand.
Skype,
Well, how many people have you reached so far? I guess you say you're just starting out, so it's kind of in its infancy.
Well, I've been DJing, doing like videos online and stuff, like
Okay.
of me performing for a while. So I have a pretty big following right now, and I haven't really told a lot of people about the course yet because I want to kind of keep my cards close
okay,
to my
let
chest.
Topic Time do this.
But I did
revelation.
put it out there, and a lot of people say that they're interested in everything. But I can't wait to put it out because I do have a pretty big following in that field. So I know it'll do very well.
I got an idea for like a funny little like lead up to it. It's just a course on scratching. So start scratching yourself and say, "I'm teaching you how to scratch." No, it's not what you think. And then, and then go right to the turntable.
Yeah.
All right. I always try to give advice to my guests that will help them out down the line. So
That's a good idea.
I mean, it sounds silly, but sometimes a little humor goes a long way.
Oh, definitely.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, well, I'm just wondering now. You're into music. Have either of you ever done any kind of entertainment? Have you ever done acting at all? Any stand-up comedy, anything like that? Or anything, just something that's in addition, because I'm just trying to find out how multifaceted you might be.
Yeah, for me, I've always been real tunnel vision,
Okay.
as far as what I love. But she's the talented one. She can take on anything creative and just absolutely do an amazing job at it, whether it's cooking or she even started doing some of the DJing stuff.
Okay.
She hasn't told anybody yet, but she has, and she's really good at it, too.
I'm sure she is.
She might be my biggest competition here soon.
no.
We'll be battling each other.
Yeah, that's cool, but that's the way it should be.
No, but it's really cool. I think that people who are into music, though, are naturally just talented
Yep.
and creative, and they can apply that creativity to more than just music. You know?
That's true.
I love dirt biking. I make jewelry. I love cooking. I just learned about mixing and mastering for music. I'm learning how to scratch on the turntables.
Cool.
I love fishing, all
fishing.
sorts
I'm
of
a vegan.
stuff. We're fishing nuts.
Well, what about just one about painting and drawing? Anything like that?
I used to a lot in my high school years. Not as much now, but my sister's more the artist with that. And actually, I was going to attempt. I didn't ask you yet, Jessica. Sorry, but I want to ask you to do my album cover.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because maybe we can get her on the show as an artist guest. I always love getting artists on as guests.
That'd be awesome. She's really good at painting, and she
Okay.
did a lot of tattoo work too.
Cool. Okay, that tattooing is an art form in and of itself. And on that note, I want you guys to get up and do another song. We just got the word from Kim that it's time. So
All right, let's do it.
I can relax a little bit again. It's okay. Oh, that was great, though. Tell me about the song, title, and how.
That one's called Fretboards on Fire. That's actually off of my first album.
Oh, cool. Okay, out of how many albums do you have now?
Right now I have a total of 3. I'm working on my 4th one right
cool.
now.
All right. All right, well, get comfortable, and we'll wrap up the show in the next several minutes. And I want to find out now that we're in the early part of 2021, and the outlook on the horizon is good because you always got to look at that at it that way. What are your plans for upcoming months and into the summer and beyond?
So we're actually going to be doing a whole variety of things.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a lot of things like private events, weddings, and stuff like that. And if people want to book us, they can reach out to Visual Sound Productions. That's who we work for.
Cool. Work for? Or is that your company?
Well, it's our friend. She owns the company,
I
but
see.
we're a big part of it. She's like one of our best friends.
Cool.
DJ Nikki Nell. I've been friends with her for a while, and she started the business like 10 years ago.
Wow.
But
Okay.
we're all very like forward-thinking people, and she loves what we do, and
She'd actually be great to have on your show too, because she's an amazing DJ.
Yeah, she's really good.
Quiet. Let's get her on.
She was actually on Pitbull's Globalization not
Okay.
too long ago.
Pitbull Globalization?
Is a huge,
You mean like Pitbull, the man, Pitbull?
huge radio
He
station.
is. He's awesome.
Yeah, but then also too, we're going to be doing a lot more videos online, putting out a lot
Cool.
more content online.
I'll be working on my 4th album.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of things. She has a lot of shows coming up with her band, Crash the Party.
Okay, that's awesome. And
so-
eventually, once we're all vaccinated, you'll probably be hitting the trail, the country trail again, right? All over the United States.
We
and
can't
beyond.
wait. Yeah, we
We're
want to
excited.
travel as much as we can. Like we're down. We don't have any kids. We have nothing tying us down.
There you go.
When the opportunity arises, we are ready to go.
I
We
envy
can-
you too, I tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have kids either, so that way we're on equal
Yeah.
ground. But all right, well, guess what? We're down in the final 5 minutes of the show. We made it go by fast. So
Yeah, that
like,
went
It
by
felt
fast.
very quick.
and I hope you had fun with me.
It was awesome.
Great time.
Thank
All
you
right,
so
now,
much for
so what I'm going to
having
ask you to
us.
do, like I told you before, is look at the camera, give shouts out to people. They're going to see the show, and just condense them, including your DJ, the owner of your company, your sister, and everyone else, and then we'll wrap the show up like we began it with my music. So go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll start. We just want to thank everybody for the support. We have we're very lucky to have a lot of amazing support, from both of our followings. And once again, got to shout out Visual Sound Productions. Anybody you want to shout out?
Shout out to my family for being supportive, for the amazing friends, and definitely for my husband too. I want to say that too, but.
Yeah, it's been an amazing year, and I'm very thankful to have you in my life, because we can make amazing things happen, and this is
that's
just
awesome.
the start of it,
And we're just getting started.
Yeah, we're just getting started,
getting started.
Only the beginning.
Yeah,
Alright.
I mean, it's been crazy with the pandemic and everything, but we can't wait to get all over the country, play for everybody, and just continue to do
Rock
what
and
we
roll.
do.
Oh, I do want to mention, if that's okay.
Yeah.
I do have a little giveaway that I usually do for my my fans and friends and stuff.
Okay.
I try to do one every week, but basically anybody could enter the contest. They just send in their name through my email or Facebook DM, and I usually give away things like guitar pedals, guitar cables,
Okay.
stuff for pedal boards.
We can add your
picks,
email
everything.
address to the graphics.
Yeah,
they can
sure.
see it. Okay, that's perfect. All right, and now before we totally wrap it up, like I do with all my guests, I say to them, if you had a good time with me, I get 98% of my guests through Facebook, but I get 2% from word of mouth. So if you have friends and you mentioned that you did that might be great guests for me, send them my way. You got my digits. You know how to have them text me
Absolutely.
24/7.
I have lots of people in mind.
Great. Okay. Well, on that note, great job, Desiree and Brandon. Are you ready to wrap it up like we started it?
Absolutely.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
folks. Thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Take care.